welcome aboard here, Bet fans, to the Sports Talk Nation. Michael Cohen here with you. We all know what this video is going about. It is about this huge story that's breaking up, this battle royale between Steve Cohen, the New York Mets, and New York City Mayor Bill DeBlasio. You know, I try the best I can on this program and on this channel to keep politics out of sports. We all hear about it throughout the course of this year about politics and sports. I've done everything I can to try to keep politics away from sports talk as much as possible and just try to focus on the games, try to focus on, well, sports for that matter. But when you have a topic like that, something like this, come to a topic that we have discussed ad nauseum on this channel, which has been the sale of the New York Mets to Steve Cohen, and the sale of the Mets in general for that matter, well, we have really no choice. And now here we have New York City Mayor Bill DeBlasio sticking his foot into the waters of the New York Mets in this sale. A sale that, by the way, that has already received approval from the MLB's ownership committee by a count of 7-1. And tomorrow it is fully expected, that the rest of the owners will formally approve Cohen as majority owner of the Mets. All he needs is a total of 22 out of 29 votes. We'll get into Jerry Reisendorf in just a little bit, so just hang tight on that one. But the fact is, here comes DeBlasio, waving his big political stick, and a mayor, as we all know, who has been very, very unpopular in New York City for so many reasons. A lot of issues going on in New York since he's been a two-term mayor here. Rubbed a lot of people the wrong way, and he's now with a year left in his second term, trying to rub now Met fans the wrong way for that matter. And he's doing a pretty good job of that, that is for sure. But citing a clause that says that the mayor has the right to prevent or look into a prohibited person, for that matter, that is taking ownership of a lease of, i.e. Citi Field. And of course that says a prohibited person includes not just individuals convicted of a felony, but anyone who controls any person or entity that has been convicted of a felony. The lease language says, as stated, the city precludes a person who has been convicted in criminal proceedings for a felony or a crime involving moral turpitude or is an organized crime figure from leasing the ballpark. Well, this all goes back to the issue that Cohen had with his firm SAC Capital, in which the firm pled guilty to insider trading charges back in 2013. That company paid its fine of $1.8 billion. There was also another situation that was handled out of court with Cohen's firm Point72 over gender discrimination with a former female employee. That was handled out of court. Cohen has never been convicted or charged. That has been reported by multiple outlets, not just the New York Post, but Daily News, CBS. We can go all over the place. All have reported the same thing. Cohen has never been directly charged with a crime. Yet here we are with Mayor Bill DeBlasio, with the city of New York, trying to muddy the waters here, trying to find loopholes. And then we find this story last night by the Post that DeBlasio had a phone conversation with Commissioner Rob Manfred, saying that he is going to do everything in his power to prevent the sale from happening. He does not want Steve Cohen to own the team. Now, he has said, and he has asserted that he is just having a law division look into this to conduct their due diligence. At the same time, we hear in these stories, we've seen in these stories, that it's just, well, the complete opposite. The mayor has said publicly, and what he has told people inside government appears to be at odds. Multiple sources told the New York Post that the mayor has been pushing the city's lawyers to find a way to halt Cohen's sale by using the clause buried within the Citi Field lease. And this is from a source that was quoted in the New York Post. The due diligence line is bullcrap. The source familiar told City Hall, told the Post. He told MLB that he doesn't want Cohen, and he's told his law department to find a way to stop it. So what we have here, folks, is political grandstanding. There's no other way to put it. Now, there is, mentioned later in the article, that there is this so-called opposition group, whoever they are. They want a, quote, and this is part of it, important any deal includes a generous, comprehensive community benefits package that actually serves the people of the surrounding neighborhoods and all of New York City. That's just a bunch of language right there, folks. And let's be honest here. We all know that New York City wants to try to get this economy back up and running. We all understand that. But you're going to hold Steve Cohen's feet to the fire and hold up the ownership and sale of the team based on that? Based on something that could be done eventually? I mean, remember, this is the same city, this is the same government that stopped Amazon from coming into New York City and stopped all those jobs from coming in. And we're going to hold Steve Cohen's feet to the fire? Really? We're going to put it all on him? You want to do something about the chop shops? New York City has done nothing about those chop shops behind Citi Field for years. Years. They just keep collecting dust all this time. So, yeah, maybe it will be nice to see a mall down there or see some kind of park put in there where the chop shops are. But that'll happen eventually. Maybe Steve Cohen will do it. Maybe he will. Maybe he won't. Maybe he'll hire somebody to do it. I don't know. Maybe he'll partner with somebody. But why do we have to hinge an entire ownership just on that? That's why I keep saying it's political grandstanding. And then we hear about the connections that are involved in this, i.e. Jessica Ramos, who was a vocal voice in the Amazon fiasco, and she also penned an op-ed back in the summer supporting A-Rod and J-Lo to be the owners of this team. And of course, A-Rod and J-Lo still want to have say. They still want to be owners. They still want to be players to be owners of the New York Mets. And we all know this also traces back to Jerry Reisendorf. I told you I was going to bring him up again. Jerry Reisendorf, who, as we all have read, is a close confidant of A-Rod and had voted against Steve Cohen in the ownership committee. He was the one dissenting vote. And it's been rumored that he has been trying to get more owners on board to vote against the sale of the Mets to Steve Cohen. I guess he just has some personal animus. I still don't understand truly why he is so far against it. But that's where we are right now, folks. It is all political grandstanding. It is personal animus. And if you want to take everything that we're seeing here from the Post, maybe even connections to A-Rod and J-Lo, it is just incredibly ridiculous. Met fans don't deserve this. City of New York doesn't deserve this. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you that Steve Cohen is an angel. And I don't even know the guy, but we all know that his persona was the basis, as I've mentioned on this channel many times before, was the basis for the Bobby Axelrod character on Billions, cutthroat billionaire. He had to earn his money somehow. I'm not going to sit here and tell you he's an angel, but I will say that the Mets had done their due diligence. They found out that there was nothing to what the allegations that the city is looking into, and that even if the city were to sue or to take the Mets and Steve Cohen to court, they would lose. That's what's been reported. So there's nothing here but grandstanding. And then there was this story in the Daily News saying that this continues to get dragged out. And again, the vote is tomorrow or today, depending on when you're seeing this video. That there would be concern that this would have, at least according to the Daily News, an effect on the Mets' off-season plans. Because the longer the mayor takes to decide what he wants to do or to review his findings from the law division, that it could muddy the waters for the Mets' off-season and moving things forward. And of course, the Mets want to get moving with this offseason. We have heard that Steve Cohen wants to bring in Sandy Alderson to be the president of baseball operations. We have heard that. I would imagine that would mean the end of Brodie Van Wagenen as general manager of this team. There's going to be changes in the front office. There's going to be changes on the field. And the Met fan from the baseball standpoint wants to move on, want to get that over with. They want to get moving on an offseason. An off-season plan. And because of politics, because of political grandstanding, and because of a mayor who just wants to, I guess, just get some attention or something because he needs to be in the paper for some reason. A guy who just does not like billionaires at all or self-made people like a Steve Cohen. He wants to make a political statement. And that is something that is a big mistake for him. He needs to get out. He needs to back off of this just a little bit. If he feels that he can take the Mets to court over this, as I've just mentioned, it would be a losing proposition for him. It would be a waste taxpayer money in a big way. Please, Mayor, get out of it. Let this sale happen. That Steve Cohen's going to put a lot of money into this baseball team, as we all have been led to believe. $14 billion he is worth. He is going to give this team an opportunity to compete. He's going to give this team an opportunity to bring some revenue to the city with a winning baseball team. What's wrong with that? Isn't that what we all want? I would imagine, wouldn't it? So this is it's frustrating. It really is frustrating, and I understand where Met fans feel. There are a lot of angry Met fans out there, and you should be angry because there was no reason. Who saw this coming? I think I mentioned this before. Who saw this coming? If you told me 3 months ago, when we were in the middle of whether the Mets were going to make the sale or not, whether they were juggling the A-Rod sale or Steve Cohen or that Mayor Bill DeBlasio would get himself entrenched in this situation, I would have said, nah, that's not going to happen. Well, here we are. Here we are. And it is a bad situation for the Mets. It's a bad situation for the city. And the Met fan, unfortunately, finds themselves in the middle of it. Hopefully, later on Friday, we can get some resolution to this. The sale will be complete. The owners will approve of the vote. If anything, I think this call may be from DeBlasio to the commissioner of baseball, if he is doing it, and this is just going by what we've been reading, if he is doing this to help out A-Rod and J-Lo, and in turn Reisendorf, probably just trying to scare owners into voting no. Hopefully that doesn't work out that way. And heck, you know what? There's even Reggie Jackson has come out in support of Steve Cohen taking over as Mets owner. Reggie Jackson, Mr. October, Yankee great, coming out to endorse Steve Cohen to take over this team. So, I don't know, fans. I just don't know. We'll see. Tomorrow we'll find out what the vote is. I will be back here tomorrow. We'll break down the vote, find out who voted yes, who voted no, and hopefully the 22 votes come in for Steve Cohen, and maybe Mayor DeBlasio will come around and just back off. And if not, well, that discussion is just going to continue to heat on up. So, folks, remember to like and subscribe right here to the Sports Talk Nation, right here on YouTube. Remember to follow us online at OpenMicNJ on Twitter. And remember to also follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/OpenMicProgram. Comment below, folks. I want to hear your thoughts about this nightmare that the mayor's putting the Mets through. What are your thoughts about it? And let's have a nice conversation. Talk to you next time.